I think you're always going to be upset if you're giving up as many points as we did, this past week. Frustrating. I think the biggest thing this past week, I think two things. I think number one is again just explosion plays. You're never going to play great defense if you give up as many explosion plays as we did this past week. We gave up 3 explosion runs, gave up 2 explosion passes, so you give up 5 plays there. I said you're not going to play at a championship caliber defense if you're giving up the big plays. And the other thing is third down efficiency. You get a team to third down, you got to step up, you got to find a way to win and get off the field. So I think you look at those just from an explosion standpoint, the inconsistency of whether it was our fits, whether it was our tackling, whether it was a poor call, whatever. Again, you give up that many big plays, you don't have a chance to be successful defensively. If you cannot get off the field on third down with as many opportunities as we had, you don't have a chance to be successful. So I think a lot of those are the things we're trying to get corrected. Those are things we got to try to get fixed. You eliminate that, and again, the points, the lack of points, are going to be in your favor.
I asked Coach the same thing, but in terms of getting better angles, getting better vision to notice when pick routes are coming in, getting in your way, how do you improve that during the grind of a season when you're also trying to prepare for the next opponent?
Well, you try to keep the scheme pretty simple so you can adjust. I think Michigan State did a good job just, again, I think with the multiple formations, they gave us a personnel package that they hadn't shown a whole lot going into the game, and they had some success with it, and they stayed with it. But I think the first thing is simplicity, just trying to get your kids lined up where you're in a sound alignment. They know where the fit, they know where the vision needs to be, and then from there, you can never get away from fundamentals. Pick concept's always going to happen when you have 2 guys staying on the same level, and that's day one. If you're in a match concept, you've got to be on different levels. If you're on the same level and they run that type of under scheme right there, you're going to naturally collide. So that's something you try to get across day one. We didn't get it executed, we got picked. And even on that particular play right there, we still got a chance to hold it to a 15-yard gain. And it came down to open field tackling, which on that particular play was pretty poor.
How much did that bother you in general, open field tackling? Obviously, you had a couple.
Yeah, we had 18 missed tackles. A couple of those explosion plays, too. We had guys in position to make a play. We didn't execute the number one fundamental play in defense, and that's tackling. Again, that's just something that you try to work. Again, you drill throughout the week. How much live tackling you do during the week is limited, particularly when you get to the midway point of the season. The thing we always try to do is at least thud ball carriers up. We'll do live tackling, but it's more in a condensed space. Your open field tackling, we try to do every play in practice where we're getting our body in position to make the play, and then we're trying to fit the ball carrier up and not necessarily taking them to the ground. And again, some of that's credit to Michigan State. I think they've got pretty good skilled players. And, but it still comes down to we got to get them to the ground.
You guys had pretty solid leagues against Bowling Green, which hasn't lost since and scored a lot of points in Penn State. Can you identify any differences in terms of what went well in those games and didn't go as well?
Well, again, I think those 2 games we did a fairly decent job stopping the run. Again, it always comes down to if you're going to be good on defense, you've got to be able to stop the run. And I think where we're just inconsistent right now. And even you look statistically, we gave up over 230 yards rushing. Now, 103 yards of that rushing came on 3 plays. So if you go 100, they had 134, 135 yards on 44 carries, which comes out to a little over 3 yards per carry. You're not getting run over, but then you throw in 3 explosion plays that equal 103 yards. It's your stats are a little bit skewed, but it's those 3 big plays are going to kill you, and that's what we've got to eliminate. We didn't give up explosion runs against Bowling Green. We didn't give up explosion runs against Penn State. They got through into the secondary. We got them down, and we lined up to play the next play instead of being a 30, 40, 50-yard game. So that's what we've got to get out of our system. Came out in empty formation twice this past week where we just didn't play the correct cover. One was a busted coverage. The other was the drive concept that we picked ourselves and missed tackles. I think all that's easily correctable. But again, it's those plays which I think are holding us back from playing good D.